So here's some more progress. I got I would say the back half pretty much complete. Just gonna pull out the front seats out now, and I have 2 more boxes, so I'm gonna do the front half of the car, and if I have any left over, I'll pull out the door panels and I'll do those too. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I really, like I mentioned before, I don't like loud cars, and I mean, the diff on this car makes a bit of noise. It's got a broken tooth from the ring gear, and I ended up replacing the whole diff. I actually was fortunate enough to find a Corolla at a wrecking yard only once, and I pulled out a bunch of parts. I took the gas tank, and the rear end, the transmission. I ended up selling those to a friend that was doing a swap. This was a long time ago, but I did keep that diff, and that's when I swapped out my that broken axle and welded diff. I just did a whole swap, and that's the diff I have on here, but it's pretty noisy. So I'm looking to I'm gonna be doing LSD and changing the ring gear, rebuilding the whole rear end down the road. Just kind of a expensive repair, so I'm saving that for later. But I want to get it quiet, so I'm adding this sound deadening to minimize the sound from the diff, and also I did change the exhaust. So I put a new cap bag. I put the Fujitstubo Legalis R exhaust, which is a lot quieter. I just don't want to have any noise from the interior or from the differential or from the exhaust. I just want to have a nice sounding engine sound, so when I do ITVs, that's all I want to hear. So maybe I'll put a stereo system, but for now I just drive to the sound of the engine on this thing. It's a fun little car. So anyways, I'm gonna get back to work. I'm gonna pull out this interior and start working on the front half. Snap, look at that. Looks like a garage sale. So here are all the panels. I'm gonna be cleaning them now thoroughly. So before I install them, I'm gonna go through them each and clean them up. I'm not gonna record that part just because it'd be kind of tedious and it's kind of boring. By the way, I made this here for the back half. Since I don't have back seats, it goes from the base of the back seats all the way to the trunk area. I just went to a fabric store and got some of this padding and this padding here, and then some of this fabric, and it works good. I'm just gonna vacuum it and throw it back in there. And by the way, these pieces, I actually, as I mentioned before, the Corolla came fully gutted. All I had was the front panels and the seats. So I pieced this together, and it took a while. Back in the day, I was kind of big on the forums, so I did a lot of, but this was years ago, so did a lot of buying of the panels there. So I'm still missing like 2 pieces, and I'm hoping to find them while I'm in Japan. But overall, I like having a quiet car and a full interior. Alright, and I also have these privacy covers from T3. This privacy cover and the tire cover, which I like them, but a little bit of a pro tip. These guys, since they weigh nothing, they rattle a lot, and I put some Velcro on there to just kind of keep it in place, and it seems to work pretty good. And obviously the other side where they actually mount to, which is the speaker covers, there's Velcro on there as well. It works well. And the tire cover, since it also weighs nothing, I put foam on there. I just glued some foam, and it helps a lot, because otherwise you get a bunch of clanking from it bouncing up and down on the spare. So you can see some of the rubbing there. So that helps quite a bit to minimize the sound. And here are the rest of the pieces that I'll be cleaning and reinstalling. I still have to clean the carpets pretty good, so I'm probably gonna save that for last. It's probably gonna take the longest. And another pro tip, I use this stuff for the seats when I sorry, not for the seats, for the panels, I mean for the panels. So a lot of those panels, since they've been installed and removed so many times, they just don't hold that well anymore. So still buying the clips, I just use some of this adhesive, and it works really well. So, and of course, comes with both sides, the Velcro side and the side that the Velcro sticks to. So I'll include this in the description. I've used it in the past and it works pretty well, and I've used it obviously here for the privacy cover. So yeah, when I come back, these will be nice and clean. And done. So this took me, I would say, a few days. I worked on it in different segments. It wasn't all one go. So I would say that this is maybe a good 6-7 hour job if you want to do it in one full sweep. Maybe longer if you have other things, if you have more cleaning to do, and if you have any rust spots to repair. I didn't have any, so that was good. I just did a little bit of painting around here, but otherwise it was pretty good. I didn't find much rust here. In total, I used up about 3 of these boxes. The Corolla ate about 3.5 of these boxes, so I have a little over half a box left here, which I'm gonna end up using on the door panels, and just to have some extra in case I ever need to pull anything out. I just have some replacement padding, so I'm just gonna hang on to it. And the tools that you'll be using that I would recommend is a Neo pad for sure, and it was helpful to have this tape measure. You'll definitely need a hatchet to open boxes. Scissors are really useful, so I highly recommend some scissors. Razor blade wasn't too useful. This guy was pretty useful, so I recommend buying the little roll pad little roller when you buy the pads, if you decide to do sound deadening, just because it made it a little bit easier for some of the areas where you don't want to air gap. So overall, I'm pretty content with the way it turned out. So tomorrow I'll be installing the exterior or the interior, and yeah, and then hopefully soon I'll be taking it for a test drive. I'm still waiting on some brake parts, and then I'll be able to put the brakes back in. Just waiting on brake parts. I'm having some issues locating my brake calipers. So once I have those in, then I'll install them and road test this thing. So I'm excited for that. Alright, back to it tomorrow. Alright, got the interior installed. All you have to do now is put back the front seats, and I'm done. And obviously take it for a road test and see the sound difference. I did make a recording before installing this, so I'll play that here as well.
I'm on 10 again. Yeah, state your name. Big double flame. I just switched the lanes.